checked in. Well, actually, I went AWOL from the military because something was going on with me mentally, and I didn't know what was going on. And all I knew was I could not stop thinking about Iraq. And I went AWOL and went to the Exxon, grabbed a six-pack, went home, and called my parents long distance and said, I'm done with the military. I can't do this anymore. Like, the military uniform was stressing me out. You know, everything about the military was just stressing me out, and I couldn't get these images out of my head from Iraq. And so finally, they took me to the VA in Tucson, Arizona for 28 days where they gave me medications, and they diagnosed me as having the PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder. And so I got labeled as being crazy and, you know, all kind of names. And these are people in my unit. You know, they didn't know what was going on with me, let alone myself. I didn't know what was going on with me. I had a fear of crowds. You know, people like of this size, you know, would intimidate me because I would feel like there would be a sniper, you know, prepared to shoot me. And so I would always be on high alert. I checked into Lakeside, my last hospitalization in 2009, where I felt as though Al-Qaeda was trying to kill me, and I took cover under my bed. PTSD is very real, and it's very severe. I did kick out a bulletproof window at Lakeside, and I was discharged. They put me on many medications such as Prozac, Geodone, narcotics for anxiety, and along the process, it's been up and down. It's been a roller coaster ride. Now, Memorial Day, that was, like, holidays are different for veterans with PTSD. They're not the same. They never will be the same. The American flag will never be looked at the same. Let me go ahead and click this here. Because of all this, it's very important that you see your psychologist and see a psychiatrist. The difference between a psychologist, they do all the listening and yeah, and then you got your psychiatrist, which gives you the medications. And I stopped doing both for a while, and I turned to drinking as my way of coping with, you know, my flashbacks and my nightmares and my issues of people that had died in front of me over, you know, in the war zone. And as you can see, it takes support groups, you know, for PTSD. One of which I've just started recently, the Women's PTSD Support Group, which will be in effect as of September 23rd of this year, which is it's way past overdue, but it's finally, you know, here and available. I got involved with politics in 2006. I went to my first town hall meeting. I'd come back from, when I was honorably discharged from the military, I went to see Mayor A.C. Wharton, and we spoke briefly, and I thanked him for, you know, his support for welcoming me back, and I told him, you know, how much Harold Ford Jr. had so much influence over Senator John McCain, because I was stationed at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, which is John McCain's state. And when I tried to call his office, I got denied, and they told me to stop calling his office. And I called my dad here in Memphis from Tucson, and we began to, the next day, whatever Congressman Ford did, he did what he did best, and, you know, I had my commander come out and see me, and I had, you know, various supervisors and things of that nature to make sure that I was okay. With that being said, the town hall meetings, I was so nervous the very first time that I went before the podium. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to speak about. I didn't know you know, I mean, I was before the congressman. This is like a big deal, you know. And what was I supposed to do? I'm just, you know, a public servant, you know. So I was so nervous that I lost my voice. And, you know, luckily they had a microphone, and I spoke my issues. And Marcy Thomas, the deputy director of Congressman Steve Cohen's office, was there. Randy Wade, the director of Congressman Cohen's office, was there. Billy Henry and Congressman Cohen himself was there. And I expressed these issues that I had with the Department of Veterans Affairs. And, you know, I thought to myself, how am I going to override the VA? So I went to Congress, hence the town hall meetings, to get my point across. There are also consent forms that, and I'll pass these around too, that the congressman has. If you have any problems or anything, feel free to take one, you know, and he will definitely handle your situation promptly. He's very good at that. He represents all of Shelby County. There was a scandal that broke out at the VA not too long ago, probably back in 2008, which I unfolded. And I went to Miss Marcy. I said, Miss Marcy, you know what, this VA is really getting on my nerves, or they have my blood pressure, you know, raised, and, you know, I've got to do something about this. And we faxed, she said, write a 10-page report. We faxed it to Washington, D.C., got Secretary Eric Shinseki involved, which is the secretary over the Department of Veterans Affairs. He personally came and made a visit to the Memphis VA Medical Center, and jobs were lost as a result of this. The director was fired, along with chief of psychology. A lot of mental health employees were fired, and many other staff members. I decided, well, since I'm on a roll, you know, let me go ahead and get President Obama involved. So I said, let me write a package to President Obama and let me explain what's going on here in Memphis in the layman's terms. Let me just break it down to the president, what's going on. And he actually wrote me back. And, you know, I kept that letter. I didn't bring it with me because I didn't want to take the chance of losing it. But he did write me back, and that was, I felt like a big accomplishment because he heard me. And so he passed in 2009 with the help of Secretary Eric Shinseki at the Department of Veterans Affairs. They passed H.R. 952, which is suited for claims and the claims process for veterans. Because once you become discharged from the military and you have PTSD, it's hard to get a job because you can't take orders, you know, from people. If someone says, do this, do that, you're like, I'm not in the military. You can't tell me what to do. You know, it's a very different adjustment, the military lifestyle to the civilian lifestyle. And so anyway, you know, at this point, I became very spiritual. I became very spiritual and turned to God. And the Arabic community, you know, was a problem, but I dealt with it. And I will leave you with this, with the national anthem. The national anthem, when I hear it, I start to cry, like at the Memphis Grizzly games. The Rockets, you know, red glare. I actually have seen the Rockets red glare, and I have instant flashbacks. And the bombs bursting in air. You know, I see that, and it makes me cry. So I just wanted to share that with you all today. And I hope that when you are out and see a veteran or hear about veterans with PTSD, you don't label them as crazy. We just have mental issues, and we are heavily medicated, and we're trying to fit into society. Thank you.
Good.